Welcome aboard, passengers. Mega Sim here. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Today's video is a special one today. Something I've been wanting to do for a couple of weeks now. Train Sim World 2, Xbox Series X versus the PlayStation 5. Yes, very special video. We're going to be looking at clips that I've recorded from both consoles in full 4K for you guys. For all of you, we're going to have a look at how long it takes to load routes from pressing the button to launch a particular route to it actually going into the game itself. We're going to be having a look at the times for that and looking at the quality differences between the PlayStation and the Xbox. Now around that will be other clips which I'm not specifying if they are Xbox or PlayStation, but if you've watched my games before and you've watched my videos before, you will know what console that's going to be from. But the main routes that we are going to be looking at today for this is the Schnellfahrstrecke, Köln to Aachen line, the Bakerloo Line, the Hauptstrecke Munich Augsburg, and finally the Great Western Express. That's right. So we're going to be looking at the trains for those routes are going to be the DBBR 442, which we can see right here. For the Bakerloo Line, we're going to be using the 1972 Bakerloo Line train, of course. With the Hauptstrecke Munich to Augsburg, the DBBR 403, so that's the ICE, in the snow. Because, you know, we like a bit of the snow. We want to take advantage of the power of the console. And finally, the Great Western Express, we are going to be using the Class 43 HST. So let's get started at looking at the load times for each of these routes. So we're going to start with the Schnellfahrstrecke Köln to Aachen on the Xbox Series X. We're going to use the same route and the same weather for each one of these tests. And there it goes. The Xbox Series X has started. Hopefully this real-time counting will help you guys. I know I've mentioned it in my videos before, but here we go. Looking at real-time, how long it takes. That was 12.33 seconds for the Xbox, which is pretty quick. This is the Schnellfahrstrecke Köln Aachen, and now let's have a look at the PlayStation 5. I have mentioned in my videos before that the PS5 is slightly lower, but now we can actually have a look real time with a timer of exactly how long it takes. We're already over the Xbox time, and I know because of my notes how long this is actually going to take, so we're almost there. 25.93 seconds for the PlayStation 5. That is a big jump, isn't it? So what I've then tried to do is I tried to mimic the same camera angles and show you the difference between the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 of these trains in these stations. So as we can see, we're in the Köln station on the Series X, having a look at the DBBR 442. And then what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the PlayStation 5 edition of this as well. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the difference. Again, as I said, these are in full 4K, so enjoy. Have a look at the reflections on the windows and the paintwork, the amount of people on the station. These are exactly the same routes at exactly the same time. I will mix it up a little bit and change things over and show you the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. They may be in a slightly different order. But here's the Xbox Series X leaving the station, leaving Cologne. Apologies for my lovely camera angles and moving it around on the joystick, but I tried my best with that. We are just using the standard external camera. I'm not using option 8 on the keyboard for this particular run, just so I don't have to catch up with the train. We're having a look at the track, the loading in and out of the track with this. And then what we're going to do is, at the same point, we're now going to have a look at the PlayStation 5 leaving the station as well. Now what we're doing is we're looking at the time it takes to quit the game to go back to the main menu. This is the PlayStation 5. Schnellfahrstrecke, back to the main menu. And there we go, 11.82 seconds for the PlayStation 5. Okay, and then with the Xbox, we're only going to do one version of this quitting. We're just doing the Xbox and the PlayStation 5 for the Schnellfahrstrecke, and 3.94. Big difference. Now, straight away we're going on to the Bakerloo Line PlayStation 5. I should have left that a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. And see how long it takes for the Bakerloo Line to load on the PlayStation 5. Already we are at 15 seconds. And we are almost there with my notes, 18.98 seconds. That's a long time, isn't it? Again, with the Xbox Series X, we're going to load Bakerloo. Again, same weather, same route. And there we go, 8.73 seconds. Now we chose a nice rainy day for the underground because we want to see the quality of that rain going through. We're at London Road on one of the early mornings, as you can see. We're on the Xbox Series X. The rain to me does look a little better on the Xbox, but you know, make a comment down below of what you think compared to the PlayStation 5. With the underground, the camera angles aren't the same. I tried as much as I can, but it is near enough. It's very similar where I do go round the train, as you can see here. But the rain does look pretty good. Just as a reminder, the shard is still not on the console. That is something that is being built in, that is on the roadmap, but we haven't got that yet, so that's why you can't see that in the background. Here we are with the PlayStation 5. You see where I mean? The rain just looks a little less. It's very good there, but then it kind of dissipates a bit and disappears a bit more. But let me know, again, in the comments below, what are your thoughts? Both of these are in full 4K, so you can see the real difference between the two. But yeah, leave comments down below throughout, because hopefully this video is something that you want to see. Again, we're now on the PlayStation 5 and we're in the tunnel. So we've just gone out of London Road Depot into the tunnel, and then I decided to walk through the carriage so you can see the lighting there. It is pitch black outside because we are in the tunnel, but just walking through the train, and then we're going to have a look at the underground map, and then we will flick over to the Xbox Series X version of this. Exactly the same walkthrough. What do you think? Is there a difference between the inside of the train as well? Be great to hear your thoughts. Don't forget, we also have our social media channels, so if you want to follow us along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Discord, all of those links are in the description below. The next route we're going to have a look at is the Hauptstrecke Munich to Augsburg on the Xbox Series X. This one does take a while, I will admit, because it is a bigger game. We know that there have been problems with the Hauptstrecke Munich, but this is on the Xbox, 14.98 seconds. This is the longest one it takes on the Xbox. Now let's have a look at the PlayStation 5. We know that there are specific layers that should be on these this route that have been removed by Dovetail Games at the moment, just because of crashing and issues with that. But we know that the next gen console does give us a good 60 frames per second, and it goes down to about 40 for this route on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. But let's have a look at the end result for the Hauptstrecke Munich Augsburg. We are still going. Remember, it was 14.98 seconds for the Xbox to load, and we are almost there with the PlayStation 5. Yes, it's a big level, but here we go. PlayStation 5, 39.22 seconds. As I've said already, we are in the blizzard, the snow, at Munich, looking at the DBBR 403 ICE. Difference between the 403 and the 406. Remember, the 406 can go to other countries, whereas the 403 is just a regional edition of the ICE. It's an older train, but there has been a refurb in the cab, so that's why the cab is a lot more modern than the 406. Here's the PlayStation 5 edition of this. Can you see the snow on the windows? Not really. I will admit I've not done it on this test, but if you do go up close to those windows, snow starts falling and sticking to the windows. But as you saw with the Xbox, the snow was on there, but not the PlayStation 5. This is indoors, so this is, I know you got a bit of the blizzard, but there's less snow build up on the train because we are under cover. And again with the PlayStation 5, again we've still got the blizzard, but no snow on there because we are under cover. So next we're going to look at the train leaving, starting off with the PlayStation 5. Oh, apologies for that camera angle again. Let's quickly race back to the train so we can have a look at that leave. So you see there's a lot more snow build up on the Xbox edition of this train. But as I said, don't just look at the train, look at the tracks. Look at the sleepers, you know, what is going on with the console, how it is performing with this. But yeah, it's a pretty decent game. You know, pretty decent route that we do have with the Munich to Augsburg. But you be the decider for this. Have a look at the video footage. What do you think is better, the Xbox Series X footage or the PlayStation footage? Now what we're going to do now is, we, just like the Bakerloo Line, we are going to walk through the carriage on the Xbox so we can have a look at that. Also, if you notice, are there more passengers, less passengers? It really depends when you load it as well, because I did do one version of this on the Xbox and didn't record it correctly. I pressed stop instead of record anyway. So there were a few extra passengers on the Xbox edition when I did the first record of this. But as you can see, we've finished there. We now go to the PlayStation 5 and we now walk through. But yeah, try and count the passengers, see what the passengers are like on here. The lighting as well, just trying to show that too. And finally, we're on the Great Western Express PlayStation 5 loading this route. Also want to mention, just in case you are thinking it, no other games were actually active on the console. I quit every other application and game, so it was just Train Sim World 2 that was playing on both. So no quick access, you know, where on the Xbox where you can actually flip to other games quite quickly. I made sure everything was off and it was just Train Sim World that was playing on that. 28.51 seconds. That's quite a long time for that particular one. So 28.51 for PlayStation. Let's see how long it takes for Xbox. 8.37 seconds. And we're now going to have a look at the HST on the Xbox. Having a look around the train at London Paddington. Just ignore that I've not got the headlights on. That was the one thing I forgot. So we're looking around there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get the motors started. As we know in the roadmap, the acceleration of the Great Western HST will be fixed. At the moment, the acceleration isn't great. I think it accelerated too fast on Train Sim World 2020, but then when they updated it for the preserved route for Train Sim World 2, they then made it too slow. The AI version of the train, so if you are up against some other computer-operated trains of the Class 43, they actually run fine. The acceleration on that is fine. It's just when you as a player are driving the train, you have issues on that. But yeah, I do like a bit of Great Western Express, one of the best routes, I believe. So yeah, looking forward to driving a few more routes on this. And also, as you know, in the roadmap, they are looking at the livery editor for the preserves. So I can't wait for the Class 43. I've heard a lot of comments of people saying that they want to do a lot of different versions of the 43. You know, well, we got cross country LNER, East Midlands Railway, the variety of different Great Western liveries as well. And then we go into the intercities, you know, the British Rail times of the blues and the blacks. Yeah, there's a really good number of different liveries that we could choose for this. So just a bit of a recap from our Xbox versus PlayStation 5. The Schnellfahrstrecke, Cologne to Aachen, the Xbox loaded in 12.33 seconds, and the PlayStation 5 25.93 seconds. The Bakerloo 18.98 seconds for the PlayStation 5, only 8.73 seconds for the Xbox. The Hauptstrecke Munich to Augsburg, 14.98, nearly 15 seconds for Xbox. The longest, the longest one that we had timed for the Xbox, and 39.22 seconds for the PlayStation 5. Yes, the longest one that we had to time. And finally, Great Western Express, 28.51 seconds for PlayStation and 8.37 seconds for Xbox. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, looking at the times of loading, and also having a look at the quality of the routes as well. Remember, these games are not optimized for the next gen console. It's just the next gen console with the beefier processors are giving the game a bit of a kick, a bit of a boost. So we can see a really good difference between the game when it's played on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One compared to the new next gen PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Now, I have spoken to a few people that do have the Xbox Series S, and the frame rate is just as amazing, 60 frames per second, as the Xbox Series X. Just a lower quality, but even then, just these consoles giving it a bit of a boost. So hopefully, Dovetail Games, please give us, on the next gen console, a bit of an optimization. The quality that we're going to get from this game, especially with the processor of the next gen consoles, will hopefully give us an even better experience on Train Sim World 2. Almost as good as the PC. But as you know, PC, they can run Train Sim World 2 very well, but it depends on the PC that you've got. If you've got a lower quality PC, yeah, you're not going to have it as well. But no, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. If this is the first time you've watched one of our videos, hello, welcome. Don't forget to press the notification bell, ding-a-ling, ding, 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 for more videos from myself. And I hope you have a great weekend, or whenever you're watching this, you may watch it again. But we will see you on the next video. This is Mega Sim out of here. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.